no time to waste. I just want to welcome everybody to a brilliant program this evening, which is today, the 4th of the 4th of the year 2021, the 4th of the 4th, very significant date in many respects. One, which I want to make clear family know, is today mark officially 3 years of governance of the Julius Maada Bio government. Today marks officially 3 years in power of the Julius Maada Bio government. So I just want to say, Fambulem, we recap on this. Secondly, it's a major Christian holiday, and I want to say happy Easter to all, and I want to toast everybody with my glass of red wine. So everybody, happy Easter to all. Thank you so much. Okay, today the 4th of April, 2021, broadcasting on the Denver platform. I am the host and presenter, Prince Emil Kuma, and I bring greetings to now. Like I say, now a very special day. In many respects, this particular date is so significant in the sense that today mark officially the 3 years anniversary, of the Maada Bio government. And today, I mean this entire week, beginning Friday, Good Friday, those of you who know the Christian principle, Good Friday, just one day ago. Today, Saturday, I mean, it's a long holiday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday will be celebrated officially. So I just toast all the Christians and all the other people where they celebrate Easter holiday, because you don't necessarily get to be a Christian, although a special holiday to Christians but everybody else will celebrate this particular day. We don't transition to a new platform in a sense that we still stream live videos and we broadcast them on Facebook, but then we don't move from the traditional side, which have been there for many years, about 3 years, which was much more like a private page for the platform in own self, way the then and now. So not everybody aware of this particular page. So therefore, the numbers, it can slow for like rise as a consequence of people not knowing that we don't move. So some people they look for them. So Una, we don't join. I think 7 or 8 of us, and I appreciate Una very much. Yeah, Una will try for shape this. So Usa Una they watch that link there now for shape. Yeah. Today we want to talk about serious things really ongoing in our country. Specifically, broken promises. And we title the program, The Wages of Sin is Death, based on 23 broken promises, if not more, of this government. And we bring a little bit of biblical analogy into this, because we want to let people understand within sin. Sin not only that relative one, the way we sabi inside the Bible language, but we can take them away from the Bible language and make them for let it be applicable to within me and you, the discourse. So we suppose forget a very special guest today, Mr. Imran Khan, who will wait for not call yet. Hopefully he will call and join the program. And special tonight, we suppose forget Mr. Alfred Sanko, that famous voice of Salon Cashbox. Supposed for be on the program as well, just for talk briefly about an upcoming program on this particular platform. So while we wait for Mr. Imran Khan, who's supposed for logging any moment from now, in fact, it's just on the dot, this is not the arrangement. He was supposed to make contact with the studio at 1:15, and it just don't go 1:15. So we know say definitely going to sign on any moment from now. And Brother Sanko for don't sign on earlier on. I don't know why he not sign on, but I'm a very busy man, so we can understand. So we go wait for Brother Imran Khan. Then we can talk about promises, waiting a mean, manifesto, waiting a mean, new direction, waiting a mean, waiting to happen, waiting a policy. Why then failures there? Because if you make a promise, you not keep them, that's a failure. And if we agree on that, Why are they occurring? Why are they occurring? Thank you, Brother Prophet Fitzgerald Johnson. Indeed, sir, you know, say we mortaman them. Of course, now Papa God now make we. So there is a kind of a relationship between we and him. And when we did our Mama Mother Earth, we're supposed to do the things them which are Christian-like, and these are good virtues anyway. That means we look after each other. We look for each other. We try to make provisions when necessary. So in this case, when government, we're responsible for we all take power, then definitely the need for look after the people them. If they haven't, or they not they look after the people them, then this not a sin. Now that way they want to look at. Hence why we say the wages of sin. Because if you know they look after your people them, if you make promises to them, then definitely there's a problem. So happy Easter to all. Happy Easter to Prophet Fitzgerald. So we still wait for Brother Imran. Brother Cashbox not call. Today I really know we want to talk a lot. We just want to let them people that can give you their own perspective of things. And few things, one or two announcements. The Melvin Medsika show we kicked off on last Wednesday, the last day of the month of March, was massively a success. We did have one or two or three technical problems, which been serious for a professional platform such as ours, but overall, the program was a success. And that from the engineer perspective, where the engineer way happened for being in the background, appeared in the video or the interview a couple of times, will not be really necessary. But like I say, that was technical error. It was not intentional, but we go make sure say that not happen again. Anyway, the brother they come up with in second show, when I watch out for the flyer. The flyer is already made and will begin for circulate. Gigi's not probably after this program. It will begin for circulate. Okay. Then when I go see for yourself. So I'll not be labor on that too much. We still get this entire month of April and the entire month of May where we do adverts. So if you get your company, you get your organization, your institution, or you do a birthday, or anything where you want to celebrate, whether a funeral, because even funerals are celebrated, not in the same sense as a birthday will, send me the information, probably a flyer or even a video, 1, 2, 3 minutes, is going to be free. Remember, then and now get depth, then get width. Disregard the number where they watch now. Like I say, we don't transition to a new platform. Not everybody familiar. Secondly, it depends on other programs, the way they ongo na the social media web regarding we conversation. And then above all, now because we don't transition kind of this platform, many people don't know. So we ask una, dear una help for shape this to fumble and begin to get familiar with the new platform. I just look for the contact of with 2 people that will be supposed to appear. Let me see whether I will get senior, because in 10 minutes for can introduce in program. We forbidden start last week, but obviously there were issues. And let me see whether they've been resolved. So family will bear with me while I try to call senior quickly. Let me see whether we can have a conversation around this. And Brother Iman. And again, because the time don't change, Mr. Sefi, I got caught up in this. Was it last week? Yes. Time don't change. Britain, time don't go forward. We continue how we come out, the time still remain the same. So that correlation there, sometimes it can take a while for let it sink. Okay, I know Brother Sankor not allowing phone for ring this much. If you not answer, definitely it's because he's caught up in a thing or two. Remember, say the brother is a busy man, family man, do your program, do research, as we do, not just they put out stories out there. Let me try the main guest. Let me see why brother Iman not sign on yet. So family, once again, happy Easter to everybody. We just wait for we guest them. We want to talk about the 23 broken promises of the Julius Maada Bio government.
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Ture?
Yes, I did try for you. I don't know the waiting room they wait. I don't know from 9:50.
Oh, okay, so I don't know what happened probably, but I go recheck. Alfred Seth just they call now. So maybe I will delay you time and we can count on for 10-15 minutes. Thank you very much. Okay. So Famulema Sunayeri. Freddy?
Yes, my friends.
Yes. What happened? You stuck somewhere?
No. Oh, sorry. Did you send me the link?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. I'll load it now. Sorry.
No worries, that's all right.
Okay, I'll load it now.
Okay, then bye. Okay, so like I say, you see then technical glitches there can happen, but because we don't get nothing for hide, we can make everything public to fumble them. We can make everything public to fumble them. So obviously we main guest, Mr. Imran Toure don't join, but I will keep him in the room in the meantime, because Mr. Sanko they come and Mr. Sanko just they can talk 10-15 minutes. Let me see who is this. Yeah. Hello. Hello? Okay, the caller no one talk. So obviously, yeah. So anyway, family like I say, when I can see we main guest Mr. Imran Toure is already on the platform, but obviously we are 15 minutes into the program, and the way this was planned, there's no secret. The famous voice of Cashbox is supposed to be on the program because they can't begin for host the program, not the platform. I think say instead don't send me a invite. Okay, don't accept me invite rather. So now that happened. So 15 minutes of wasted time, but because we get two heavyweights on the platform, we don't go waste any time at all. So brother Imran, and also they hear me loud and clear. Just say hello to Fambul and quick before you revert, just for see audio is good.
Kushe me good people them.
Thank you very much. Okay. Fambulele Kabini say, Mr. Khan Toure is on the program already, but we at this particular point in time, we want to talk to Cashbox and we want to go straight to Cashbox and just talk with him, here for a few minutes before we let him go. Very busy brother and etc. And like Kabini say, instead they can begin for host a program, I believe on Thursdays. I don't know because that was tentatively agreed. That might be changed. Anything is can be changed. But not be the arrangements and no secret on the then and now. What we talk behind the most now, we talk before the most. We're not British. We're not English, we're not British. Yes, anyway, on a more serious note, Mr. Sanko, welcome to the then and now, a familiar face. But usually we always get new people, and so therefore we can like for always make an introduction. So I give you the honors. Introduction, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening, Prince Chroma and me family Mona. Good evening, and just want to say, like it's a pleasure being here as always, and just one kind of update we said, and I believe so maybe some power I couldn't see me before. If not, yeah, Alfred and maybe if I say Cashbox, maybe when I go remember that more. Yes, so
absolutely. Now the name now the way they resonate. Myself now I can get people to call me, and like we talked over a year ago, I get people that when they call me, they feel say me not Cashbox. I said, no, I'm not Cashbox. That business they far away past me. I just lost that once or twice, and I'm just been fortunate. Anyway, on a more serious note, brother Sanko, me and you, we done the engage each other for many years. But on a more serious note, exclusively we country at this particular time, it's been like 3 years into this journey. Me and you not a stranger now social web, we can say that because we very much get a presence there. But what I want to say is I don't be you for quite a while for do a program on the then and now platform. Finally, at some point, I believe, because suddenly that might change because this na era where we agree, we can front the matter. No, not so been talk. So I want to commit you tonight for say, yes, I don't want to talk to this brother, and at some point I believe say the brother give me the go ahead, say yes, in that list of people the way you want for the broadcast on the day now, which will be a look for a name. If this is so, Mr. Sanko, would you Robert find this small and tell fine that this is so, if it is so, and waiting and they expect for come, because we are financial business, we talk almost scientific things, and that's what we talk about.
Absolutely. Yes. I guess like I don't commit myself anyway, and yeah, I mean worst case, and of course, as you say, it would like I would be regular. Worst case, it will probably be every fortnight, but like best case can be every week. So yeah, absolutely, I'm committed to it. But you know, like as you say, you know, waiting I feel say we people need and me save the land every day from this because you know like everything like these days if even like now me cousin like you always tell me say if even we keep comping we talk about one parable since we've been small or they go they go say oh like you get for use up na cash boxes and because like you know life don't seem for kind of like everything these days is how do you translate this for make like people are able you know understand because it is quite difficult. Sometimes, you know, I can want to do me audio then short, but like, you know, because you just want to make people, not all of us, it just like for make people tell me, for make like a doctor can explain certain medical terms into me. For me, for make I understand, I want to make it kind of like break them down, now me level for make I able to understand. So you see, like most of the time, like when I make like these days, I can always try for come with me, papa, in old parable and for try for make things them, you know, for make it kind of like make me feel we set inside it. And I feel say, you know, the biggest challenge where we get now we country now the area of our economy. Now the biggest challenge, you know, like I've been listening just you know, like just before you call me because I've been wait for you call actually. I've been listening AYV where they talk about the economy and all that and the way people I just feel say, and these are people way you will expect say for no. But, you know, to be honest, I don't feel say they actually get, you know, the basis for which we they go wrong. And I strongly believe say until we Sierra Leone and get grasp all of that, you know, the reality, the fact of the economy, like, you know, we get a very long way for go for we make decision. And because up till now, this is the reason, because of lack of understanding or like the way we lives to be affected. Now in the make sense, we still they vote based on we tribe, based on we region. I strongly believe because we just feel say if we vote based on we tribe, now that 10 day we will get opportunity for make we life. We not believe say when we vote on policies and all these people to waiting them be done say now in they create the enabling environment and the opportunities for us. But as far as Salon people are concerned, they just feel say when I based on like when I vote based on nepotism, tribalism, that's the time where they get me lane, and it is completely wrong. And this is the reason why I am passionate about what I am doing, because I know if Salon people get this fact, you know, get the reality, understand how they country for work. You know, like in fact, America, when then they vote, it is 90% of the time they vote based on like the economic policies, because they know when they get that right, everything else will sort out itself, everything else. And this is why I'm so passionate, even though it squeezed me some time, but I believe like, you know, if even like I impact one person, you know, that is an achievement for me.
Yes, indeed. Sister Dolly, happy Easter to everybody on the platform. They are a lot of help for Sheba, like I've been saying. We don't transition from a normal page where people are familiar with for over the number of years. And now we're on a new page. So definitely we get for struggle with the numbers, because I can get calls. Where are you broadcasting from? Yesterday, Superman been there on, and I get about 5 or 6 calls where people let me ask, where are you broadcasting from? So we know that for those of you familiar with the page already, dear, let we share, let we encourage people and for can listen. Fambulem, this now the voice of Salon Cashbox, now you just talk just now, that famous voice. He will be on this platform and will get in your show where they come soon. I believe say the nearest date, we missed one date already, but of course, things have been worked out in the background. Mr. Sanko, dear Teriba, is Thursday going to be ideal and it's 8 p.m. Tell me a little bit about time because I'm understanding that day. If it's going to be ideal, so I go able to polish them up and sell them to Fambulem.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Thursday is the most ideal day, and like 8 o'clock is absolutely fine as well. And especially like it is the kids' bedtime in a way. So yeah, it's perfect. Absolutely, it's perfect. Yeah.
Brilliant. So I will ask you one way more question if you allow me, and I will let you go. Because of course he imply boku kind answer, technically complex and etc. But here's it, Mr. Sanko. The government of Sierra Leone, as we know, obviously we know you videos, we know you audios. You talk about real issues, matters of the state. And not to just ordinary talk, not to people that we can just take microphone and blow mind. You're technically gifted, and these are the kind of things that when you talk about, things that when they affect a country, and if they only listen, you're almost like an advisor. If they only listen and take on board some of their advices, then things definitely can go differently. But here's my question, Mr. Sanko. And this is if you believe it anyway, then you can address them as such, which way you take them. There is a school of thought out there we believe say structurally and inherently this government is weak. And one of the areas the way you can talk about now, one of the things the way people and believe say make this government very weak in terms of the economy. Structurally and inherently, Mr. Sanko, if this government is weak, why do you think they are weak? And not only why, because most times we can say why they're weak, but we need a profound solution. And in fact, you show go kind of focus on profiling solutions. Yeah. So do we agree that they are inherently weak, structurally weak? And if they are, what are you take and what you advise just before I left you?
That's a very, very deep question. We sincerely need very deep answer, but I'll try to do it on the surface. But Prince, like when you talk about the inherently weak, the reason not because when you get like a government where it be say in a way it try for appease in people them where we don't kind of like support them. For me, I love giving example. Look at America. The lady that is now the current Treasury Secretary, that the equivalent of a finance minister, Janet Yellen, this woman was the former bank governor. In fact, it not be ever did now Joe Biden in campaign for say, oh, this is my main person and whatever. No, like when you look at it, and even prior to that, you get the former, I think Bob Damon, Jimmy Damon or something, where now the JP Morgan, the CEO, like one of the biggest banks.
Yeah, we knew Barclays before. Yeah.
And he was, in fact, like Donald Trump, even draw him come 19. Because, waiting with the fail for realize now we country. And this is the reason why, like, inherently, like, they're weak because, like, then they try for appease their own man. Like then they try for say, JJ Safana Mb don't work for me. And the reason why I always tell people are passionate about the finances of a country because it is the bedrock of everything else that we do in that country. And for make you get like a whole finance minister, people do not understand this. People do not understand this. I had a listen to Lima. They talk say one of the biggest achievements. Well, and this is not like this is the song that is being kind of like sang now the SLPP government. Lima they talk say one of the biggest achievements that the government are the fact that they're able, they attract grant. They're able, they attract grant. Like, this is the reason. And when you talk about like inherently weak, it just draw my mind to that. A government where they always above and grant. This is not the reason, Brother Prince, will make us say, you know what, these Thursdays where we the plan for do. I want to make like the all of Salon people are able to understand what in grant mean. Waiting a grant, because a government cannot rely on grant. Grant basically means saying a bigger. Anybody with a bigger, we don't ever see. When we be the grow up, them bigger man than a quantity, we don't ever see them able to buy cheap for us for themselves. Because no, all waiting bigger man they do, now for make it get in daily bread, now for make it get in hand to month. And we don't see the finance minister and the financial secretary who we're supposed to be the expert in the finances now we country. I don't see them at the year in 98.1 when they talk say we government, then they try to talk to IMF and World Bank and other we creditors them for make them convert we loan from loan to grant. Please, if Salon people understand how this thing detrimental to we country, I can always pull a parable. If you go to your neighbor, you go lend money to your neighbor, you then at the end, what you begin to do, you begin to make sick food. When you want to convert to money to your grant, you know what you do? Yeah. You want kind of like make, like I say, your economy sick. You know what make, because what means if you go lend me money, you know my neighbor, you go lend me money, you see I cook jollof rice every day, you see I buy posh food them, I eat chicken and chips every day in a salon standard, not to like the country over there because chicken and chips can be seen as a formal food. But the salon standard, you see I eat posh food them every day. If I go to you for make you go write off me debt, you they say no, because you they live good life for make you able to pay me. But if you see at the kind of like certain at one pot at the cook every day, rest and per mind, you go say, okay, there is a need for me you write off me debt. So waiting they happen for make a government get a mentality, say for make them turn their loan to grant. You know what they do? They don't want to do anything where they make the country grow. They always want to make them look there like I say them poor. Then they eat rest and per mind. They always they kind of like when they get money, then they thief them, so they go suppress the growth of the country. So they go always go to IMF and say, look, we are struggling here. We cannot pay you debt, because that is their motive for making them turn their loan to grant. This is not the reason we make the salon people. It's like they like them kind of like they did BN because now so the government wants them. They want to make World Bank say the salon people and they suffer. Then secondly, when you go convert your loan to grant, now by them you they give yourself. Nobody know they give you like any. But please, I'll give you an example. This 50 million where we just get so back from IMF, people they say it's not grant, by the way. Now alone when at the RCF, and I know like with time, and this is not the reason why the question too deep. It's too deep.
Yeah,
because
I know.
When you go, they go have like the rapid credit facility. They be supposed to give we 143 million. In fact, the total money when they put in the bucket for salon, in fact, the total money where IMF puts for all countries now $1 trillion. Salon be supposed to get $246 million from that $1 trillion. $246 million. Waiting happen, then we don't give it only last year, April or June, then give it 143 million, then give it half of the money because they know say this now loan now ICF, but Salon gets a pattern where be say anything when they give a loan, they always they find way for make them kind of like turn into grant. In other words, for make them write some more. This is not the problem. So this second term now, the balance money will be not left at the bucket for Salon, but it's supposed to be another 50%, 143 million. This trip, they're not giving the whole 143 million, they only give me 50 million. Because we lost with credibility every day when we convert we loan to grant. So the problem is, it go back to your question, inherently, we are weak because the people do not understand the impact we then think they get. It's a very deep answer, so I will leave it here.
Yeah, it's kind of quite deep, but the way you attempt to address I believe say Fambule where they listen will love that. And Fambule, you see, I asked the brother a very real question, and somebody been telling me, say, if you want tick human, if you want a human, let go. Just ask him, a question regarding in country, in finance, and how things they go. And that is it. Just left him. He will go flowing. And when I see example of it, definitely this is what's going to be coming on the Then and Now platform from the great voice of Salon Cashbox, Mr. Alfred Sanko. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Bye-bye. Okay, Fambule Munadoyeri, Mr. Cashbox, they don't talk. And obviously in program they come, but today we get the wages of sin is death. 23 booking promises, if not more, of the Julius Maada Bio government. And we get a very special guest today in person of Mr. Imran Toure, a very critical social media commentator. For those of you who are familiar with him, una go know already. He never sits on the fence. He always they shoot, and he shoot from the lip. I mean, nor in a physical sense, pull a gun out for shoot. So they expect, a lot of sense tonight in this conversation where we can get. Mr. Imran Toure, welcome to the program for the first time, I believe, on the Then and Now, sir. Yeah. You mute. Your audio mute. Your audio is mute.
Oh, thank you, sir. This is the very first time, and I feel very privileged.
Okay. So anyway, Fambule like I've been say, here we are tonight. Very, very significant date in our calendar. One major thing today, but we'll not talk much about them, is today officially mark the 3rd year anniversary of the Julius Maada Bio led government. Today, officially, the 4th of April. And there's a lot ongoing. But we title them, The Wages of Sin is Death. Why? We're going to look at the biblical connotation, but we want to talk more about the promises that have been broken and what it mean. And Mr. Imran will help with for chat because along the way. Mr. Imran, just straightforward speaking, you're not a fan of this government, are you?
Well, honestly speaking, I do not like where they are taking us. As people, I don't get anything against them. They are my brothers. But if you get a prodigal brother, you go welcome him if he accepts, say, he do something wrong, and he prepare, and he get the tenacity and the character for able to look into a action and try to do something about it. But the way when they go, not promising, and when they take power, we all beget this expectation. Say, it not go be business as usual. It could be different. And honestly, people were yearning for change. Then put APC in the doghouse. Then bring them come to State House with an understanding, say, then people there go bring something better. But then they tell me for say then they bring about new direction. But then, so we shock, we find out for saying at the same direction and they go, but with even faster pace, then they go with steroid. Honestly, people are waiting into healthcare, they know it's in a steroid. Then you go 3 times faster than their predecessors. And if we get a crash, if we don't get a crash before, we certainly could get crashed now. And that's some of we so scared about.
So, okay, obviously, you make it clear, like, it's about the direction which you were promised, hence the premise of the question in this particular program here tonight. The promise was the people of Sierra Leone will be taken to a new direction, towards a new direction, not to the direction where we've been there or the direction where we go. So it was an about face turn. And this is not your problem with the current government, because if they were doing well, you don't have any problem supporting them. So let me look at some things that we then try for talk to we about, things that we then promise we. But before I go to Mr. Imran, promises in our government or how you call them, manifestos in our government, how much of it you get regards for? promises and manifestos, because from time immemorial, allow me for digress little bit. From time immemorial, we don't hear about promises where they can come and government them or incoming governments before then they win power, opposition most likely, they can be in competition with the ruling government, tell people a lot of things, especially it's like they know what people they want for Yeri. In other words, build the hope of people. Sometimes it's written in a document called the manifesto. What do you think about manifesto and then promises there? Because with a transition into a new era, and manifestos and then things they seem to be of something of the past, but they still use them. What are your thoughts, Mr. Iman? On it?
You know, media brother, I'm glad the way you asked this question. I go break them down. You know, anybody we responsible, where you they make promise. You they make promise within affordability. You know who you are, you know what you are, and you know what you can produce. If you make a promise where you're not able forgive, that means to say it was a facade and a lie. I will give you an example. The best example we will take now. Now when man they try for young woman. Where the young woman, you can make all kind of promise because you try for gets the woman. You go lend motuka na hire company. You take Jeep today. Tomorrow you take SUV. Next tomorrow you take limousine. Then the woman go feel to say, but this man here is tough. And married you. You see, where when they the boyfriend and girlfriend business, you can afford for making them lie then. But when the marriage don't take place, when the woman live with you, then how you gonna come out go rent scanner where the woman not go know? So that same day now, the reality don't set in. The woman they can now know say the motorcar where you be go take and we day before yesterday where you say now one of you cars them ask her, where the car? You say they to mechanic. How long you go tell her say the car to mechanic for? He said then where the limousine? He said the limousine me brother can enter. Then after 3 months, he find out for say none of the motorcar they not come. So where you the young woman, where you the boo woman, the lie and where you they talk can able yarn the woman. But then same lie and they know they help you for keep the marriage. And at the situation this way, SLPP government spend themselves. Because to start with, some of the promises that they make, then totally be reckless, irresponsible, immature, impulsive, and arrogant. Because when you make them promises, then they ask me, brother, when are the guru for financial issues? Talk naya. You for don't know you kitty. It just like how you man, where you get your family. You know almost they come now you wage pocket. You know what you can afford. You know what you not can afford. But if you talk, say, the money where you get Nabina money, then you want eat steak every day. My brother, you get a problem. We not say salo economy. Now, basically, waiting then they call bigger economy. We depend on other people them for help we. As me brother be the right they put them, me go put them in a different way. We depend Isabile la Yarasuli. Isabile la Yarasuli, we get baskets where they go with junction to junction, they go and big. The people them where they big to, like England, where you know. And I know for say you know a lovely kubrasa. You know, say now we buy blazer for picking them for good school. Now we pay for food for picking them at school. Now we buy uniform and shoes for picking them at school. Now England, because education are one of the most expensive sector them in the government. Then you can come out now when I man now mondo and the mondo you say you want for make comprehensive health care. How would you finance that? So from the start, then get them wrong. And when they do them, they not do consultations. I talked to some people them way na educationists them, teachers them, principal them. They said to me they were not consulted. How arrogant can you be?
So, Iman, if you don't mind, let's just pause you there on the same basis. Because
Yes.
from waiting at the understanding, the try for tell Fambulem is like this issue of free education, much heralded by this government, where in fact now the president now in flagship program down there, where he sell to the Sierra Leonean people, it's not going well. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, that did go well. You remember the interview when they interview him? Even when they ask her how much it go cost, he begin to go. You know, he begin stammer.
Before he become president, where they
before he become president,
of course,
that's just say not prepare. He not get a
Right.
clue of what they talk about.
Right. Okay. So let we drift down into the promises then, because now one of them down there where there is a lot of talk they on go around the issue of free education, where I think say you don't comprehensively, although other people are not going to agree, but address, because you don't get for write an entire book. The idea is for something to be successful in terms of policy planning, there has to be consultation. The players them way involved has to be consulted. Now, so you form a policy paper, not to knee action. If you can't cost the project or you don't know what's in the inside the kitty, how can you possibly do evaluation on something where you want to do, where you don't know what you get?
Precisely.
Yeah. Anyway, one of the promises that Mr. Imran, now the Lunge Bridge, okay? On the 3rd anniversary of the elections into government, the Lunge Bridge, now one thing we hang over the clouds. Yesterday, I'm fortunate for the talk to somebody way close to the government. And in fact, I call on the new normal. It's like what you be here then. It's not what you are, it's not the reality. What you see is different from what you hear and vice versa. So the government not be make a commitment to a Lunge Bridge. I find it difficult. I find, I'm not even able for sleep fine, because it's like at the crack me possibly whether that was true or not. But Rob Mott for this Lunge Bridge, let we forget about this small bush talk around them. The feasibility of the bridge, the sensibility around a bridge, the priority of a bridge developmentally for a country such as ours.
My dear brother, one area where you did not say us responsible. Now where he get something wrong, he take responsibility and say, I got it wrong. Even a year, would you see from time to time, governments in the make policy, then come out with the policy, people then stand up, say, no, this policy not good for we. I will give you one example of that, where Boris Johnson take power. One of the main game them way the one for playing England now for stop school feeding program. You remember? Parents them, footballer them, people then come say, nope. He listen and he do a U-turn. What's in they call U-turn? There is nothing wrong for make a government change a mind about something where they want to do, and he find out for say if people the way it is served. Mind you, you're not civil servant. You work for them people there. You're not equivalent of an houseboy. If the person will employ you talk for say the service way you get are not good, you get for review. Me brother, to start with, that was another thing where really show me say with salon politician them. These are not just the put up SLPP, are the put up with salon politician them. Then totally and utterly no know what they do. Anybody will get common sense. Realize say Sierra Leone, would they see the burying there every day on Facebook where young people and they die. Mortality very high in salon. Why? Because of healthcare. Get very bad healthcare. In fact, we not get healthcare. And one of the main things them, 1460 something, where the Portuguese then fend Sierra Leone. What make them fend with now water then can fend good drinking water and then get up. And Freetown, where which man say na peninsula, that means to say it almost surrounded by water. By right, every household supposed to get water in another country there. Because Second World War, First World War, even the Argentina war, British man then have to we can load them boats there. Because we get very good drinking water. Very good drinking water. Me padina water engineer, he tell me for say Parts of we Atlantic, Sierra Leone, not fresh water. We get so much water. In life, when you know Papa na us, I always they give Papa as an example. Because Papa and Mama are the first manager they will come across. You picking on a house for 16 days, you know they go school. Then they come pay you. The very first thing we try to think about now, waiting go make your family better. Not just now, but in the future. They call a long-term arrangement. So you know say you picking there for good school. You need to say you then pull in a school because you not pay school fee, you not get uniform. You go buy them in the first, then call them priorities. You buy the school uniform and everything, make sure say you go school, they go hustle back for next term. But this papaya, where he gets the money, the very first thing we do, he go buy 120 inches television, that is reckless. That is very, very reckless. Sierra Leone, we airport, not so much a priority. We get one working now. We get one working now. And Sierra Leone, we airport not get hub. You not busy. You know they bring money. So why do you want to go and spend 2 billion? We even see the prototype. What them be they show them. So if they try to deny that, it just show how reckless these people are. Then show we prototype and all thing. And from then 10 and there's some of people don't say, why a bridge now where people don't get water in the country? My brother, you know how much money they would send a freedom for friends and family where they send message to we say they get typhoid. Where will be they grow up? People like everybody use word called typhoid. Typhoid now be rarity. Now typhoid popular past malaria. And what's in a typhoid? Typhoid simply they tell we for say, pupu then we drink in water. That we water is full of excrement. You, now the leader, now the country. People and they die from typhoid. They don't get water for drink. Where would man take power, Sierra Leone? We be there under 2 million. Come not in a clinic, not a hospital. We don't have an hospital in Sierra Leone. We get something like Pandeba Road in the central of London, of Freetown. That prison they're not supposed for the day. That prison they're supposed to not move up with that 2 billion the way they talk about. For go build prison somewhere at the outskirts of Freetown. Then they use Pandeba prison for build a world-class university hospital. And make sure say one of the areas where we not get, because you remember when they build Freetown. Now, thousands of people have been in a Freetown, not so now when about 2 million people will not get sewer system. You know, they now that's make we water table, they all mix up. Pupu and well, they all they mix. Where rain they come, people are not get better toilets them, then the pupu na bush. So when the rain come, it was all the people and they heal them in all thing right into the water source. If you're not a leader, we're sober-minded. Like I get one my friend na England when they call Dr. Anasa Sisei. That man they now water engineer. Now one of the best you they talk about England here. And it's saying a very expensive project for do sewer system. We get somebody like this. They could consult him and consult WHO and other people for make them try for change its trajectory of the and we quality of life for we people there. My brother, we people are not just die like how they die. So, Mr. Koma, if you look at Facebook, every 2-3 days you see young people them RIP, RIP, RIP. Typhoid, they kill them. Typhoid, they kill them like waiting. So the point why they try to make, we don't need that bridge there. That bridge is not cost effective. Before you spend any money, you get for do, you cost waiting analysis.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Imran. I think well said, because in terms of priority, now you try to articulate so you people are not get clean drinking water, then they die or they acquire diseases relating to waterborne diseases.
Yes. And one thing where I left the end, One thing where I left the end, where you're responsible. There is a big difference. Even where you get debt problem in this country, you go see a debt advisor. The very first thing when they ask Mr. Koma, what are the necessities? First, that is you rent, gas bill, electricity bill, and feeding. Absolutely. Those are necessities. Absolutely. That brings a priority. Not a priority we need, how you call it, a luxury. Not a priority. Not a luxury the people in need. The people in need for survive. And by the time we're going to build that bridge, all man go don't die off. Because people in need for live for see the future. They're not need for
we get beaucoup things then for cover. So glad we forget you because you're so outspoken and straight speaking. So happy to forget you. And there are so many things I hope say we're able to cover them all. The issue regarding the broken promises, then now you don't address so because then there will be no need for let me even go further into promises made. But just for the benefit of the platform itself, in terms of the things that we will tell Fambul the way Fambul and they expect, we go like for talk about them promises there like one by one. And I believe say we don't talk about two where now this Lunge Bridge, where in the end you made all the case and you come back for tell Fambul and say, but this project is not a feasible project. There are more urgent priorities than as opposed to a bridge. But Imran, let me talk about electric train. I want to talk about feasibility of them things there, the necessity, and then priority, because these are good things to have. But when you sell them to people, it's like say you just want to wow them in terms of a political sense when you talk about play with the people. Electric train sounds good in a mountainous, kind of country. What's your take, please?
Hey, brother, when you talk for say electric train, what electricity? What electricity? Maybe brother, the thing is sometimes I get really angry with the politicians them. But you see, with people, I don't know if where they don't mesmerize them for so long that they don't stay in a state of hypnosis. They're not able for rationalize and understand the garbage when people are to talk. Because I remember what will be small if you travel for body can't feature, then give you one fall where you go send you family, they can give fall celebrity for your mama. Then tie the fall from Bo, you drive to you can't have feature. Won't reach when they lose the fall safe now, the fall not they believe say they don't lose them. It's still they don't have a place. Things are so bad for people in Sierra Leone right now. Not a thing like electric train, not the priority. Me brother, things so bad in Sierra Leone right now. This might sound funny because sometimes when things they happen, you get for be humorous about them. Somebody come out for go buy rope for can't commit suicide in Sierra Leone. When you go to the shop, they ask how much for the rope. Then tell us say the rope, na 55,000 for the rope. Now in the man say, you will let me. Then the man say, no, last price. The man will go buy rope for can hang himself, for can commit suicide. He turn back in our house. Because it's more cost effective for stay alive than for buy the rope. Then another one come out say, in the go buy arata poison for can kill arata. He go to the shop for go buy the arata. The man will sell the arata poison. Say now 25,000 leons for the arata poison. Now he say, hey, I left him. The arata let not do me nothing. Make we all go manage. They were angry one day, then go to the next door neighbor. This is how bad things are. They go start building a house with a roof. Now the foundation first. We don't have these foundations. You want put electric train. It's brilliant, fantastic. But for let you do that, it's not like you say you want cook. You don't forget pots for cook first. We don't get electricity. We don't get basic electricity.
Yes. You really make me laugh. And just because you JPEG the moment, you JPEG the conversation, because exactly, you can't talk about electric trains. Of course, you can talk about but in its real sense, the electricity get for day force. And many times we talk about things then way are power related. We don't have the power. They will talk about the things. It's like putting the cart before the horse. And I think that's a lot of it. And it's a recipe
because
for
sometimes
disaster.
ago, I be one of we big guns them where I get so much respect for. But sometimes when they can talk, okay, expect much from. You know, they talk about solar. Solar not able to drive industry.
So when they come to that, why don't you hold your thoughts right there? Because the solar issue is one we're going to talk about. We involve Acorn and Bill Gates and what have you. That's why we say
they can promises
them. Anyway, Fambulem, today is a very special show. Today, the 4th of April, 2021, officially make the Julius Maada Bio government 3 years in power. And 3 years on, there were many things said, many promises made. A lot of those promises, they appear to have been broken. And even if you won't believe in them, they do have a 5-year parliamentary mandate from the people of Sierra Leone. And that mandate, they end in 2 years' time. So some of them projects they talk about, they are time scale, and you forget the money, you don't look, you don't develop policy. None of this seems to be the case. So we can quickly say, it appear like say these projects are broken or not broken promises. This is why exactly we bring Brother Imran to the program today for help for understand these things they already talk about. And I should say so far, there's been no disappointment because even himself, the brother get me, you're kind of laughing because he made light of some of the moments, even though he's speaking the truth. Brother Imran, 2 million jobs. This was another promise. Tell me how government can create jobs, the possibility of creating jobs, whether that atmosphere conducive enough for creating kind of job then they, whether it be intentional or just campaign rhetoric, and we try to separate them from the reality. We talk about pragmatism, for example, where they make government go before.
My brother, I not go just come and make all criticisms. You know, the fact is somebody think about something like that, because for me, he could have been able to do 2 million jobs because that is feasible. Because when you say 2 million jobs, you know, say they can make job for all doctor and lawyer. Then. I remember when Bill Clinton take power. Bill Clinton be drive, he say America, they waiting trickle down economics. He come, he say, they can't change that. Then means be the job. The man come, he make all the housewives and get job. All man get work. If now sweep you the sweep safe, money they can inside. And that's how you build economy. Everybody they get money, everybody they spend, then you find out for say money they flow out the country. Then say Bill Clinton bring chicken jobs. But people ain't get job there. If Maada Bio be one for bring job in the country, he could have done it. If he got what in they call cleaning. That cleaning they force people and for clean. No, enough for force people and for clean. If for use that as a way for employ people them. Clean the country will be clean, and people are going to benefit directly and indirectly from that. You know, do that. Other areas in the way he could have created jobs. Like for instance, when they talk about transportation, when they talk about other sectors, because basically areas in another country, they were underutilized. We get people that West drive Pampana, Sierra Leone. Freetown almost surrounded by water. Freetown is overcrowded because now road all man they use. Why the government not get people that will go advise them say, like Florence and other places like Italy, we can use our waterways. You know, say you can come up from Lumley, you drive with boats, you come now Chakasini Street. Government can buy them small boats then they give people a loan for getting boats then they for make them make boats taxi them. So people can go be self-employed, and governments can get some of them boats that they want to road transport for the waiting them, create jobs for people. It is feasible, but you know, put any investment in that area then they like right now. What do they talk? They try for you 6 million. If I get that 6 million day, I can create job for 1 million people in a Freetown. What did the man say they do in one midterm census? Is census a priority? Ghana, them, we don't do for census because of COVID and postponement. We not do for census yet. We not get the money. Statistics not ready yet because it take about 3 years for them to get themselves ready. What is the rush? Is it because possibly in no now say in order for win the elections because the majority way they get don't evaporate? So now mechanisms them it defend for rig the elections. Now make one go forge number them. Because at the end of the day, if this man now a serious politician, where care but the people them. Like for me in particular.
Okay, we will come to the issue of rigging elections.
Yeah, I come. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care who that rules Sierra Leone.
Definitely,
you know, the principle is I don't care whether it's APC or SLPP or NGC. At the end of the day, I don't care about the color of the push. I want to know if they push in Kecharata.
Okay, Imran, hold your thoughts right there, brother. Hold your thoughts right there. We go calm, like I say again, there's so much from them we cover in terms of them promises there. We're on the topic of the day. I really don't want to go off topic, but definitely we go talk about elections, the probability of rigging, the development of rigging, the potential for rigging, and we believe we did in a stage in terms of elections, election rigging when they call it normative stage, and that's what I believe you were talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, Imran. The diagnostic center, this is quite important in terms of the health of the country. You know, if they talk about the Ministry of Health, and then they talk about the health of the people, and then you put inside the diagnostic center, knowing what in diagnostic center mean. This was one of the promises, but we are yet foresee this. What exactly you get foresee around this diagnostic center?
My brother, it is, you know, these guys are full of jargons. It look like say their own PhD and we didn't get, they're going to classroom for cram all them big jargons there, for can unleash them by people. Diagnostic center, that will be fabulous to have. But the diagnostic center, who's how you put her? Now, university, hospital we get international acclamation because in a diagnostic center, you need scanning machine. Do we have one in Sierra Leone? Can we afford to buy one? We need electricity for run scan, X-ray, echo machine, and all the things then they. So when they say they want for do them thing there, all them thing there need the premises. We don't go do that. We not get the world-class standard in premises for that we able to provide them kind of thing there. We not get electricity, we get for power them kind of thing there. Some of them kind of thing there, solar energy not able for power them. You need a lot more power for run them. So how then they can do this diagnostic center? They say word na much not to load na aid. Everybody can come out say in a Catholic, or you cannot be Catholic than the Pope. Waiting with the robots na ya, with the jargons. But it's not jargons then to start with. They're not going to able to deliver them. It is beyond them. Sierra Leone na the cradle. Sierra Leone need basic things them to start with. Very basic things them. And gradually build and go up. Where China begin, not to overnight China make them. Where Singapore begin, not to overnight them they're waiting up. Sierra Leone get for start with the basic fundamentals. Make we start first, build a proper world-class hospital for Freetown, build one at McKinney, build one at Bo, build one at Kenema.
Okay, Imran. You video 10 for the move along the way, or almost the okay. Yeah. That looks right. Kind of perfect. But I think you've said that much on that. And Fambulem, today, the 4th of April, 2021, this is the Then and Now platform, and we are hosting a very special board about Imran today, and we will talk about matters of the state. Earlier on, we talked to the famous voice of Salon Cashbox, Mr. Alfred Sankor. We therefore can begin for host the program on the Then and Now platform. We will try to make the Then and Now platform a 7 days a week information center of all kind. So we actually get slots that we open. I think say out of the 7 days, we get 3 days we open. So we try to do an international desk a health, advice, not necessarily get for be a specialist, just general health for talk about an informed farm with them. But back again to tonight, we have Brother Imran Toure, where we talk about the wages of sin is death, the 23 broken promises of the Julius Maada Bio government. We just talk about the diagnostic center, and the brother just, of course, all the things that we don't talk about, the brother just simplify them, how we're supposed to understand them. Diagnostic center, very, very important. So you can throw them in the, now some, area where we can use for do something we call imaging, like if you want to diagnose a problem, for get somebody the symptom that they suffer from, you get for. But before you do all of that, you need to get energy, because the energy and the power and stuff then they, and without the energy, you cannot go ahead and do such a thing. So it seemed like it was all of the talk. But Imran, the Acorn solar lights, I know so we will talk about solar long before we begin Candy, but because it is specific, there was much talk about Acorn and the solar lights for Sierra Leone and etc. But 3 years on, where are we?
Hey, brother, this is the classic tendency where the SLPP, PAUPA government get. Talk, 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 but they don't walk the walk. That would be brilliant if they had brought it. But the thing, as I clearly say, I don't read a little bit in that area. I don't talk to the engineer friends them. And most of them see it is only useful for subsistence. If we country want for drive industry, solar cannot do it. Why you feel, say, England, America, and all the industrial countries are nuclear and get the technology for solar, but solar cannot. You get me? So brilliant. It go good for one man in house now some area, or a cluster of house who then get cooperative for let them just get basic electricity. But for running country, solar energy, not a drone industry. We have to take that into account. Okay. But say they can always bring things then come when they not think through properly.
Yeah. But one 10-for-1 look where you talk about solar and also solar they derive the energy from, and looking at African countries and specifically we own in this case for this conversation, a lot of sunlight that we can derive, energy we can derive from the sun, and therefore make how you call them solar energy very much cheap and available because we've got the sun. Why is it? Is that not something feasible, Imran?
No, it is feasible. It is easily feasible. That is for subsistence. Now, small projects them. But for run the country, for run industry, it's not feasible. Right. I have looked into it. Yes, we get them abundantly. And we get a lot of wind power too. But then then they're alternative things then they now for just back the high power system. But when you get big industries where they use thousands volts, you're not able to run them, brother. I have spoken to a lot of top engineers there. You tell them that issue, they laugh at you because I was very passionate about it myself. So we get solar, we get boku sand. Yes, we get plenty sand. That's no doubt about that, my dear brother. But that can run a home. That can run your television. But when you want to run like a factory where they do petroleum, you need thousands of, voltage of electricity. Not feasible. It can be only done in a subsistence. It just started like what my brother talked earlier. You see, you get a government with a gladly over grant. So of course, this kind of government, when they gladly over grant, they go gladly for say they bring Acorn electricity. Because for them, anything will look nice for Yeri. They want can use them for switching the people them where not they ask the right questions. But the reality is, it is only good for subsistence. But for a country, a growth, you need proper power. And solar not they give that. You can do your own research, my dear brother.
Yeah, it happened for me one area where I get interested and read a lot about in terms of clean energy, and then the hypocrisy. But we can go into the politics of that. We can left for another day
And I
because
want
we're going
to
to talk
correct.
about clean energy. Yeah, go on. You
I want to
something.
correct also the biblical verse we use. It is fantastic. The wages of sin is death, but that was then. If you look at Ezekiel 18, verse 2, God will make it clear, no more in Israel. He said, because na me make papa, na me make mama, na me make pikin. He said, no more na Israel. One person they eat sour grapes, the other person eat, go on edge. He said, now, anybody who sin, na they die. So the SLPP government, they can't pay the same price as the APC government. APC sin, they died. They were voted out of power. So will it be for SLPP? They know they are going because people are tired. And the worst of it, I cannot believe the nonsense way then they talk, they blame Yvonne when a frustrated woman, when they frustrated about the miscalculations, them, the nonsense where they go on. And they accuse them of tribalism. When not them done, they perpetrate that, they do that from the word go. Because I not see how.
Let me talk about the Bill Gates investment. You remember much more, like I did, probably more than me, that one of the most talked about, because Bill Gates is a famous man, he got boku money investments all over the place. So if you throw him into something, it's boku interest. And it will almost sound like say it can solve a huge swath of salon problem. So anyway, Bill Gates be mentioned into one of the things that we begin to do with the Julius Maada Bio government. And a lot of Sierra Leoneans, cross-party wise, be happy about that because it helps doors come forth. It benefits the economy. Just one part. But 3 years already the anniversary since Julius Maada Bio take power, was sworn in as president of the republic. The much talked about Bill Gates investment, we are yet to see or understand what it is. When you understand, you are helping you understand about.
My brother, let me tell you this, and I tell you this from the beginning. With Maada Bio, a government, all what you get now rhetoric. Nothing not the way they say we're real. Story. They are story tellers. They use the man in it because all man was in. But yet again, I'm glad the way not go through because when you look at the bad press way the gates and the foundation, the gates at the wall, because then one day the way they are reckless, that man for become at that place, they can make all we women them get vaccinated through whatever aid they can bring for make them get things them will not go good for them because the man can clearly say it did by projects for population control. So they not be getting access when they try claim say they get Bill Gates. But if they get access to me, man, people left for don't finish by now. Because you know the man they look for control population, then people and go give them, access. But 7 million of the people left. So really and truly, now one area where I'm glad the way they not succeed, but really now be just a rhetoric. It was all gimmick, now be all bluff talk. They not even get the access when they claim say they get to the man. And for say that man they also be get problem with. I don't know if
but Imran,
yes.
With all what you say in terms of the Bill Gates, let me say the reason we make a budging, you say they not even get the access when they think say they get. Or is it all just wishy-washy or whitewash? Because we actually see live a program being held with Bill Gates, where I think the Minister of Education, Dr. Moina Senke, Naim be host that program. So Naim be negotiating Bill Gates, same plan. Bill Gates talk about a few things. We can say probably will not be understand them the way Bill Gates been talking with him. Certainly there was a collaboration Are you implying like the government overplay for selling to we, or was it just sheer ignorance?
My brother, you know very well where you go watch a play. You see the actor them, not the stage, the actors, not the stage. But you know, say for the actors and they perform, you get people in the background. We saw the actor there as in Bill Gates and Schengen. But really and truly, we did not know what was said at the back room. But yet, waiting and present to we, now them be one for believe. But let me put this to you today. Wait, man, they do nothing for nothing. Tim the man say
absolutely agree. Absolutely
Tim
agree.
the man say fu no ru. And Tim the man also say bepu uni osor, bepu omire or tooth. Simply what that means, if somebody cough, if you not swallow, it will pit. Basically, what's in that parable they say, when you cough, you either spit or you swallow. Because nothing, not they go for nothing. Everything gets a fundamental basis. But you know very well, when we come to this country, I begin to listen to news, always hear British interest, American interest. When would our politicians then go out and solicit, program them, where they will seek the best interest of the Sierra Leonean people? It's just about their egos. All what they do here and that photo opportunity day was about their ego. Oh, Schengen Sabi, Bill Gates, this, that.
Yeah, okay,
but,
Iman.
You know,
okay, Iman. So
but you
I think it was more about photo ops and then come and sell until we, for win kind of votes. And I absolutely agree with you. If only we can understand them fundamentals, then with Whitman, there is nothing for nothing. The relationship is a transactional. It's a transactional
God
one.
Bless you.
Yeah. Imran, okay, Fambulem, today, the 4th of April, 2021, we're having a very interesting conversation on the platform then and now. Of course, we don't transition into the page itself for the platform called then and now from a private page, which will be performed for the past 3 years. Now we don't move on, and not everybody familiar with the page. So if you watch now, please send a message out or copy the link and send it to other people, because all subsequent broadcasts will be a handle channel broadcasted from this particular platform, which is actually the then and now own page with a funny name. I think we'll call them Studio 64. Anyway, back to we guest Mr. Imran Toure, who is social critic, a social media critic. If you follow him or if you listen to him, he doesn't sit on the fence. The brother is fierce with his tongue, able to articulate issues, and such is what he's doing here tonight. And we are having a program, The Wages of Sin is Death. We know say when you commit boku sin, the ultimate penalty na death, according to the Bible, I believe Romans 6:2, something like that. And this is what we talk about. So the promises that the Julius Maada Bio government don't make for quite a while, 23 of them, talk with few people and say, no, it's more than that. But I know say 23 of them, and this is which are they read out to Brother Imran for them, he helped for explain to Fambulem. Yes, waiting at them promise the day, then broke them, how they broke them, why they broke them, whether they supposed to be anyway, because most of them sound like whitewash. So, Brother Imran, Shabo City, they promise you remember the Shebraman City. The way you don't have to talk to you mean a Shebraman. So when they say Shabo City, oh my goodness, you not believe how excited I was. Call me brother them, me sister them. It's like, do you know we are coming to have a city called Shabo City? Yeah, and we were all excited. But 3 years on, we barely know any longer.
They even bring the actor brother. We actor brother come for can launch out.
Yeah. So again, Imran, on a more serious note, that was promised us, the people of Sierra Leone, because at least Shabo, one of the oldest cities in the country, well known abroad because of the Watawe, Didi, Usa Whitman, and the Kandong, known for tourism as well, when they try for develop. What happened, Shabo City? Where are we, Imran? Because Mr. Steph, to be honest, I'm lost. What's we did? Help me back.
My brother, if you look at it, I believe I like one subject and another one at school. Now I go university, now I come across epidemiology, the study of trend. My brother, that the same thing will go round and round about. Them people, they are not they think things them through properly. They are reckless, immature, impulsive, and arrogant. Before you start a project, if you go to a bank for go take loan, say you want to set up a business, then go tell you, say, like, you bring a project. Then go tell you, like, you bring almost you already get. They have to look at all these basic fundamentals before you start. How you go build that kind of thing in that place there, where there is nothing there now? And the very governments where they talk about, not get money. Who they go invest in that place there? You see the government, the president, they gladdy, Minister of Finance, they gladdy, the president, he West, they gladdy for waiting for 400 million grant, waiting a grant. Bigger money. Bigger money would never be enough to build short the city. And if Sierra Leone and bank are not going to sponsor that kind of project today, they need international bank. So start with that kind of projects, then a high risk. The insurance will be extremely high. That's now one. Then two, Sierra Leone, they ask for make the right of the debt, as we grew rightly say. Whose bank go and go give loan to a country where they write IMF debts there? We are not good creditors. So, my brother, it was all, it's not like when you can pass the alimony where you angry. You just smell them nice bakery, they roast them. If I get money, I go buy me nice croissant. But the money not there, so you never buy them. Now, wishful thinking and deeper, my brother.
Okay, Imran. Yeah, family, I mean, policy, of course. Myself, I go university, and I go study policy and understand waiting the border they talk about planning. And not to knee-jerk reaction, not to dream you grab it doesn't work that way. It's a recipe for failure. Imran, the Freetown Coastal Road. Of course, that is a project that should be embraced by all. Because
Totally. I cannot agree with you more.
Yeah, exactly. But
I am
3 years on,
100%.
Yeah, but 3 years on, what's going on? Give me update, please.
Because the people that I know, they're not the ball. They and things that will not matter. Like, for instance, for accuse the mayor in a tribalistic. Then busy, they try for pick a fight with a chimney. But let me tell you this. Chimney man don't suffer at the hands of the white man because they know they set them out. And not to SLPP, they can't close chimney man the mouth. Chimney man not to people the way you the muzzle. White man not able muzzle by Bure. Not to Paupa, they can't muzzle them. Let me give you a story about a chimney man way, because Northern province is purely Islamic. When Catholic then come, then try. They're not able. Sometimes they then change the witch man and tell no one they prefer the Muslim religion. So now they want chimney man, adopt donkey chan. It's see for say they want they don't some Christian and they give them things them, then father then they carry them go to hospital, then they carry them go my besene. Now they join, then baptizer. So the father come for can find this chimney man and he hot. Where he come, Sunday, Easter morning, he meets the man they eat fufu. If you see the big junk steak then where they inside the soup, the fufu soup where they eat. Now the father say, Bo Paul. Because when they baptize the man, and that name they call him Paul. He said, Paul, how comes? It's Easter. You should not be eating meat. Now I say, hey, father, not condemn me. Now you talk on a church enough for condemn person. I've make like explain. I know they eat beef. Not to meat they eat. Now fish they eat. Now the father say to the man, do you want to accuse me for being a liar? I see you, they pull the meat, you they eat them. He said, Father, allow me for let give me mitigation. Then the father said, I'm very interested. He said, Father, where you can, I mean, I'm Muslim. You convince me, you put water on me head, I be named more like. You change them to Paul. Not so, I say yes. He said, me self, now the same thing I do. Why catch the beef? Now I put water on them. If not fish, don't talk fish. You know, when a team demand that for you, team demand and a natural storyteller and lawyer.
Oh dear, Iwan. Anyway, Iwan, many thanks for that, people. You've just made me Easter, to be honest. I never see somebody kind of the platform and crack such a joke with me so much to something so serious. Thank you so much. Thank
exactly.
You so much for that.
You know, me brother,
Yeah.
anything where you do like this world, you get for treat them with humor.
Absolutely.
You know, but I just want to make the government see how comic they are, how funny, how ridiculous they be. You know, and even right now, if they say they try to do something,
you know, for the benefit of time, because there's so much again for cover.
Yes.
Today, the 4th of April, mark the officially the third year in power of the Julius Maada Bio government. And we look at things the way they may promise the Sierra Leonean people. 23 of them now we get in a paper tonight, and we almost in at the middle and get much more for cover. And we get a guest, of course, the guest got me roaring with laughter. He's just made my day, like I say, and I mean, from all respect. Despite we talk something serious as it is, una know say some things that can happen. We can remember whether not for cry or not for laugh. But here tonight, we know exactly what we want for do. Mr. Ture.
Yes, sir.
There was this much talk about a movie star, a heavyweight Hollywood star, British actor, born Sierra Leonean father and Ghanaian mom, Idris Elba. In other words, there was an Idris Elba much heralded project. Idris Elba go, PR, photo opportunity, public relation. He was issued a passport by the president, none other than the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, and he been supposed to do an investment, heavy investment, I believe, in the southeastern region as well. 3 years on, where are we, Idris? I mean, Mr. Ture?
My dear brother, as I say, the promises there, although just count and say they are all foolishness. Mr. Elba happened for B, posting Wasabi, Asabi elite papa, Asabi in mama. Then host just the 10 minutes from me host na Eastam Naya. They host where men and grow. Asabi uncle, Asabi papa, elite papa. I don't see any family where Sierra Leonean past the Elba family. You mean man when born in England? It's a bit Creole. That man, the other guy that's a bit talk Creole past me and you. A whole life, they raise him for be Salon Bobo. So, for make them say Mr. Elba, go get Salon passports where the man already gets. It was so funny, you know. They're not a tire for use any opportunity we come along the way for photo opportunity and for sell their lies. What didn't happen was clear. It's totally clear, my brother. The Elba family, now one of the family that I get so much respect, admiration for. That man they raised the Pekin for be very Sierra Leonean, not to SLPP make Idris Elba Sierra Leonean. He is Sierra Leonean and he's proud to be Sierra Leonean. And anybody will know his late papa, know his mama, know his uncle, and the entire family, then go tell you, say, that man is already Sierra Leonean. Their passports, they go get, not be just gimmick, not be just whitewash, not be just Photoshop. And for make them use the man a popularity for their own benefit.
Yeah, but Iman, thank you for that. And I think say you are absolutely spot on. But in terms of the investment that we were promised, now something where I should say Idris Elba himself was aware of, or how does it work? What really happened? I mean, where's the investment? Or maybe it not just the happen inside these 3 years, because let's be honest, and let we be very clear. some investment that we can talk about, not a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year investment. It's in the long run. Sometimes the government can come and go before the investment, they come after them.
Mr. Koma, let's put it this way. Me a person we believe in realism. I like for be realistic. You know me, brother. I know see you know man, even where I look the texture of your skin, you get half. But I know say, you know what, afford for give me 10,000 pound cash. Even if you promise me, I will just laugh and walk away because I don't say that lie.
Well said. I shall ask no more on that. Well said.
You get me? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Elba can take a loan. When they talk for build a city, you they talk about billions of dollars. The man who's Western Bank go give Elba that kind of money.
Yeah, Imran, you say something quite interesting and quite significant as well. Because in the national conversation, which is ongoing, and I know say me and you agree on this, say we people themselves not the problem. Because if they are aware, then obviously Kapu sense, no Kapu word.
No Kapu word.
Yeah, quite important. But me and you get a mission. Me and you and many others, now we business for educate. I can always say that. The business for conscientize the unconscious is ours because you speak from a conscious point of view. And therefore, if a brother or a sister is not conscious, then it's an obligation on we part. And this is what you're saying. Not many people let me think about that, say, when they talk about the investment, simply because this brother now such a huge figure, me say it will go deep into a bank account for can invest in the country. Now means now they make. And Ola will produce that kind of money there and looking back again at the country, outside they can make the investment. Hence why some investment can collapse. But Imran, like I said, we get good things for talk about, and this is really exciting. I'm enjoying this. One of the few interviews or conversation, not an interview, it's a conversation, and I'm enjoying it. Some time ago, I think that the same 3 years ago, or shortly after the president take over power, he been promised the people of Sierra Leone, especially the job-hungry republic, a Tapalapa factory, state of the art, $5 million. Now, $5 million is a lot of money, but when it comes to government, now small funny money than they. But they tell you about Tapalapa factory and etc. They come. 3 years on, Imran, we are yet to see this factory, even though the president on about sword. Where we been come up, where then turn sword over. That means everything is set. It's a matter of time, and the time can't be too long. Now make the long turn about the sword. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 90 days, whatever, but definitely. But when they look at 3 years on, we are yet to see action. What's going on, Iman?
Hey, brother, that is the most laughable comedy sketch I don't ever come across. But before I go into the subject, I want for just pinch you, say me, mama, tell me something where I be the grow up. He say me, brother, where you the budget? Never you budget on promise. If somebody promise you, not ever contact by your budget, because promise na question mark. Salon people and get for land that. Salon people and get for land say, promise not to think with the bill somebody stability, because he uncertain. He might, it might not. But Lord will look at it this way. Bread factory. You want to tell me for say Maada Bio, a government not able for use $2 million for buy the equipment, send 10 Sierra Leoneans them for can do apprenticeship and bakery. Now France, or even the Guinea factory, where he go. For let he can set them up in Sierra Leone. Mind you, Guinea now we neighbor them. If Guinea now they get for Kaka show with the expertise to make bread, then Maada Bio is just play cook president. Why he get for go take company in Guinea for Kaka set up bakery in Sierra Leone? Can Sierra Leoneans bake bread?
So again, Imran, if you go forgive me, I mean a profound question that you asked, so, and it just exposed some form of tautology. The same president they try for promote or say it promotes local businesses, small time enterprises.
Yes.
We made up of Sierra Leoneans where they done the big bread from 19 Donko. I remember exactly. they grow up na Old Road, Black Hall Road, and around Sarola Urban Center, they get one bakery there. I think na Jamil and me get a bakery there. But they get one bakery there where you go African Road. Massive bakery, where fiber almost like Tapa Lapa because you get a cut pantap. Hot one, you don't get anchor butter.
Now baguette, French bread. Yeah, French.
So we don't practice this thing for a long time, and we get established bakeries such as Red Lion and what have you. But inside bakery business, we are very experienced people. But how one side of your mouth you say you try for promote small and medium term enterprise
business.
At the same time, you go Rwanda and Uganda for go bring fall factory and egg factory where we already get established ones then at the country.
And that small time business, they open the economy.
Yeah, absolutely.
They open the economy because then people in there then go grow, then go make branches, then go employ people them, teach more people them for make bread. Then by the time when you know it, we go get how they call them. Course when they go to do na technical in bread making. So you find out for say, bread making will become an area of expertise where go help with economy and thereby feeding with people there. Well, my brother, look who gets Soldier Man in the past up and down at Sierra Leone. The man from where you don't want to see Soldier Man with combat the past not street.
Now picking the way they do apprenticeship now, they know more easy and it's fun.
Oh, then when you go to Frito, you see drumstick, that is chicken leg them, where they pull from Brazil. You mean honorable men fall in a salon? The army not the army is supposed to be the nucleus for green revolution in our country, where the army forget the biggest poultry farm in that country, they then pull it all in the street. And even this business when they give, where APC begin for the give Soldier Man bag of rice, all they want and then wait for team the soldier for control them. Why you don't pay them? Why don't you pay them well? Let them buy their own rest. But now wait for control them. Now that's make you find out for say we army not the ever be independent because the governments then hold them na a sensitive part that one bag race. If you not behave, I will give you the one bag race. If you not behave, I will get them. Pay the people well. Exactly. Pay the people them well. Like if they pay them well, place like Daru, they will get world-class policy.
Obviously, many other promises are just they can't wrap them up because I want to talk about. There's so much thing for cover, but I want to wrap up on these promises because I want to move on to something new. Okay. Today, the 4th of April, 2021. This now the then and now platform in the host and presenter Prince Emil Koma. They talk to a very special guest, in a casual conversation about something so serious. What they talk about, and I like the way they put this. It's like you sit on a couch over a pint of beer or a cup of coffee, and they talk about issues of state, which is quite kind of very serious. We get the Melvin Medziga show. We kick off last week with the first episode with a brother from Sierra Leone, brother Colin Spratt. He was given an award by none other than the Queen of England. And call the award, I think, a BEM, British Empire member. So he's a Sir Colin Spratt in the business of arts. He's an artist, and he's massive. So we just say, check brother Colin Spratt now YouTube, watching video them, and you are not pirates the song them, not for buy them. Henceforth, we promote with brother when we do so. And this thing, it gets a bigger connotation. So please. We also get the second episode of the Medziga show on the Then and Now platform coming this Wednesday. It's going to be regular every Wednesday. And we get big stars then we line up. We get, hopefully, Mayor Aki Sawyer. We not say yes, but we just say people that we interested for green cam, and we try for big and say, do you want to come there? We have a conversation. We also look at the current first lady of Sierra Leone, Mrs. Fatima Bio. With the hope say it will come. we dey look at MP, Labour MP for North London, David Lammy, and a few other people. And so there is a lot, here coming on the Then and Now platform. But for now, we don't transition from my page, the private page, into the platform in your page, Then and Now page. So you now when you watch now, 57 or 60 of it. In the meantime, they are on a shave and on a shave. And also make people for aware how to manage for connect to the platform so that people are not will get hard time. So everybody will hear this conversation for themselves. They don't have to be told. Let them hear for themselves. Please, primary information is necessary. Today again, once more, we get with brother Imran to will help you for understand a lot of things. And brother, we will talk about the promises. One, garbage trucks, about 200 of them. I think some have been delivered, so we got forgive them. We got forgive them that. We'll talk about carpeting some places in Akenema, and I think say some of that project they don't begin. But these are not major projects, these are minor promises and in one corner of the country. The more serious promises then I will not see done they happen. And this, of course, is of concern to the very many of us. So Imran, one of the things that we then talk about, or let's just put all two together one time, na a conference center na Freetown, and I shall stay aware. That was one of the promise that is yet to come, and a shopping mall na Freetown. Still the way. 3 years on. What's going on, Imran?
Hey, Rara, what's you make a laugh? Now just a joke. People that they don't get hospital, they don't get drinking water. Now shopping mall na priority. People they don't get basic akara money for buy akara. What's it they go buy in a mall? What's it they go buy in a mall? And the thing that they talk about, let's be serious. These guys are jokers. You can just imagine the whole of Freetown do a mass travel to Kenema for go up in Clock Tower. Just see how unserious they be. And Clock Tower will not to the government make now a private company.
Yeah, I'll take away from you, Imran. You are absolutely right, because Mr. Seb in a fume over that. I mean, in an age where people can get mobile phone, you get time ready. Yeah, Clock Tower may be significant to something else, but it's largely about telling time for people from distance. You can see them. Yeah. For see the time, and a shrine central to something. But what was the essence of this other than a waste of time? And you know something else? There was a major program by the current mayor unfolding something, pertinent to the city, now the country, will be warrant officials then for Dede at the time of the opening.
They all went to Kenema.
They all went out of town to a Clock Tower. To a Clock Tower. Continue, brother.
That was reckless. That was unprofessional. That was total lack of foresight. That was lack of intelligence of all type. And it was not prudent. Then born, SUV, then most of them are 8 valves, 12 valves. Then they burn petrol like crazy. You take 30, 40, 50 of them to car and they all go Kenema. You know most petrol and waste that day for Clock Tower. What is the value of a Clock Tower to the basic Kenema man or the Sierra Leonean man? Where they a picking they go to school now grown they sit down. Even though they promised it and they can make free education. You get a lot of schools where the picking are grown and they sit down, my dear brother. You get schools them where the roof and the leak. We don't see them where God make and America they bless people in Lekuna. God go bless una and let God continue for give una the fortitude, give una the courage, give una the tenacity, the ability, and the time for long to do what you wanna do. Because but who the things that where we know now they make we know. Because like where I see that video where the roof they leak, past the beginning put buckets na the class room, then una flagship na education. Then you they make all these promises where for say you not papa, but I can tell a lot of people we as Sierra Leoneans we get for take a good look at we culture, a culture where leadership not dey, a culture where we know they train the Pekin for being leaders from the formative time of their age. And the example that they get from the home, because for being a good leader from the home, the example where you see you papa and your mama they set for now. Because when you're a leader, now you make the biggest sacrifice. And when you're a leader, you're not prepared for make sacrifice, you're not a leader. Because Nasranian I see where mama they cook fall, where it catch the fall and kill the fall, where they shape the food, the papa now gets all two the leg them, now gets all two the thigh, now get the breast. Where you don't pull the breast, they tie them and the legs from a chicken. What he left by the chicken, the man gets 6 picking them. So the picking and then they eat the fall hand, the fall foot, and the fall neck. Then when they grow, that is the kind of leadership who gets Sierra Leone. The leader takes it all. Then you find out for say in that situation, the papa no need for grow, and you belly they be with luxury by eating the chicken. Then the picking and they get kwashioko because they malnourished. You not see that police, that minister where pull roof in west. Then there's here. You know, see how we picking them malnourished.
That was really pathetic, but it speaks to the state of
you know,
mind.
see how the picking them look
and these are the people the way they lead the country. Imran, we need to cover a few more things because away from the promises, I want to talk about 1 or 2 things as well. So forgive me as I rush through the things there. Then talk about cities as well. We're going to talk about cities, and then talk about cities the way they want build. I think one of them is supposed to be in a Freetown, and 2 other ones them, outside of Freetown, where Nalunge. So 2 in Freetown, the building of cities, 2 in Freetown, and 1 in and I want to let you also touch on the modern office spaces for MDAs, almost like a UU building kind of thing. But we are yet to see that. What more than 2 things there about quickly for me, man. You see me resign, me brother, but this is serious.
My brother, when you talk the word, the more way you talk, I feel so agitated. I don't feel restless, because it just show a pattern, not just the SLPP. Because let's be fair here. Let's be fair here. You go build city. The city that way you get already not complete. I thought the cities that we get at the moment, if we make them accessible and inhabitable, fix them to a standard where you go call these homes and these institutions them correct before you go try for it. And just like what's in APC do. We know for say Athens of Africa, West Africa, Sierra Leone, we get the Frabe College, what are the first university na the sub region. APC take power. It was good for let them make university. But how about empowering the one where you get already, make them to a world standard? You hear me? The money way for don't go for making FBC world standard, then take and go make a McKinney. So
yeah, but here's the thing, my brother. So you are absolutely right. But then these people potentially will rule as them. And even the ones that are in waiting,
yes,
they all get this kind of mentality.
This tendency.
Because they know waiting or they sort of think for we people them. Waiting, they go say we people they want for a year. So then tell them about things practically we know sort of feasible. Or you get structures where you can make, but you're not making them. Instead, you're promising new ones. Isn't that a kind of tell for people to understand? Say you're not in the truth because they're
not responsible, basically. Because at the end of the day, there is a principle about life. You get need, you get want. Before you think about want, think about needs. These are the essential things. We get FBC. People in the cooking a butter cup. The toilets are not get proper water system. FBC is supposed to be the #1 university. Now the whole of the sub-region. Me brother, you don't know England. You don't go to secondary school. You be in a better pass FBC. True or false?
Very, very true, Imran. Just another quick one again. I know, say, yeah, you're hitting, the heights, but another promise again, failed one. Cold rooms, because then things they sound so good. People that need them things there for preservation, and it can help. But it help government itself in as much as it help people them. But cold rooms in every headquarter town. Where are we with this?
Me brother, you want for build cold room? Na kerosene to say corona.
Come on.
You remember whenever they say kerosene?
I mean, I'm being serious, my brother. I'm talking about the 23 promises or so, failed promises.
My brother, so start with that the salon people them are blamed. Person they can promise you Mercedes Benz in a ride bicycle. Oh, you know, this man where they promise me this promise here, something is not right. If in a ride bicycle, who say they pull the Mercedes? Come on, guys. This is the problem I have with Sierra Leoneans. Not for everything where glitter and gold. When they promise you, you got to see if the promise is realistic. They vote for these guys based on promise. And this nonsense where people then get for puts people in a power because they get PhD, because they can't study, they get Western education. No, intelligence, no education don't make you intelligent. And
okay, Iman. Yeah, you absolutely on, and it's Alex again for bringing you come back. I know that they all talk about this. We get a few more grounds for cover. We're not even done with the promises as yet. Remember, there are so many, and you are dealing with everyone.
Brother, man get bossy. Then they can't tell you say it go help you for many years bossy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the analogy that we the person they ride bicycle and other person they drive motor car and the other person they ride bicycle, they can tell you. I get it, and I really
it's a
like
no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
But with people that are kind of complicit in this, will you forgive them because they don't know? And is it with duty for let them know and understand this? Because you and I understand this very well. Before they can sell, they can sell to me. We know which they can sell, and we know how to go about and for understand whether a meaningful, a significant, and if it's of priority. The question here is how many of the people know about this?
We need a serious cultural change. And with cultural change, therefore start with religious understanding. Because waiting with man take brainwash we, now we get for take brainwash with people and back and make them understand, say, this business here, I left and give God, not to help anybody. God make we with 5 senses. Why did he do that? Because God, now in infinite wisdom, know for say, we need to survive. And it give we independence. Remember, where God make this world, Uda last he make, not so much man. He make sure say, he don't show we leadership already. God show we leadership. Before he puts you in the world, he make sure say he don't make everything. What we can now he say, look the animal there, name them for you say, so you not go forget. We name them. And he tell we for say, he don't give we dominion. We get 5 senses. My brother, when you sit down at that chair, the nail took you. If you not pull the nail, you can't sit on the back tomorrow. It go took you. God don't give you the sense for make you know say, if you either go find carpenter or find plier, pull the nail.
Okay, Iman, hold your thoughts there. One final thought about promises, because this is supposed to be my final question. I the answer. So, but one final thought about promises, and the promises made. We will talk about a agro processing plant. All of this sounds so magnificent. An agro processing plant, cold room facilities in every district headquarter town, fish harbor complexes. These are carefully calculated things for lure people into a trap, if you will like. Mm-hmm. Because when you tell them this, it sounds as if one, it's job creation. If you talk about complexes for fish, there are going to be people where they man them depot and they, okay? But then depot and they have to be powered by electricity. And that electricity is not available, but the people are not thinking beyond that level, if you will like. Then promised hydro project now by Congo as well. and I'm sure this is not something we are aware of. And the final one on promises is that 50 investors from South Africa. We got more on this quickly, and I ask you my final
Hey, dear
question.
brother, you talk about attitude now. The people are way stupid in Africa. Past all, now we educated elite. And me, they tell you, say, they openly talk for say the problem of Sierra Leone, that's of illiteracy. It's a lie, na policy. The most intelligent Sierra Leoneans, them, where Asabi, are the one that will not go school. I don't know what happened with Sierra Leonean when they go school, they achieve academia. All of a sudden, then they lost their reasoning. But you see the most man, they don't go school. Then they tell them for say, the only answer na Christ. You know, able to ask, say, if the answer na Christ, what is the question? We are not able to ask clever questions after we don't go through academia. And it's really worrisome. We Sierra Leonean them, would they sit down, would they listen to garbage? Because if you see person abuse you, Mr. Koma, now you give him permission. Now you go give me permission for let abuse you. Now the Sierra Leonean people them allow these so-called politicians them for they abuse them and for they do them consistently. It is about time Sierra Leonean begin to ask, say, what thing you got behind your hand where you hide? Bring all to your hand them before me make us see them. Saloma go talk and say, I hand in my pockets now, bluff the bluff boy, no matter. Where ready go pull up? No. Tell the man he pull in a pocket, let you know what's in the inside a pocket. The problem where I see consistently, all these things they are with them promise. From the beginning, somebody like we talk and say, la lie. Because when I look the person where they promise me, I better pass on.
Iman, one or two things quickly. We've gone too far into this program. And imagine, I wish we had more time. But there's an issue ongoing right now. It's not done yet about the mayor of Freetown. As a social media critique with vast or diverse sort of pedigree in terms of the sciences of which we will talk about, it will be unfair that weigh in on the debate, about this ongoing thing about the mayor. Can you share your views about this particular saga with us, please?
Oh, yes, please. I don't do a few audios them on them. I find them really, really crazy. Where Adeyeri always talk about, then for make he resign, then go kick him out of power, then go protest against them. Where the first lady talk for say publicly, then go begin mob and slap people. I not see that outcry from SLPP people there. Where the woman clearly talk for say, it go take man and Tololi, a barbecue, then roast them. Can you imagine? When the woman talk, I twist my leg, afraid say,
for make sure that he's still living.
You know what I mean? I know a real outcry. Where the president called the whole country terrorist. You are in England. Possibly you be there now, the time where we suffer from the IRA there. So you know what's in a terrorism. You go to prison, you kill people there. 30 days, no, almost people that they really kill. You don't take responsibility. 30 days, we head of state, not send a condolence message to the people that were lost their life. No matter waiting and then a prison for, it is irrelevant. They are there going through the punishment, and part of prison and rehabilitation. The people and they do what they do, then go kill them. No apology, no nothing. My point what they try for make Naya is tribalism and racism then get similarity. If you talk about the two issues, then you therefore look at them similarities then they. And what are them similarities there? Now power.
Yeah.
Creole no get power in Sierra Leone. They've never held the office. They've never run the country. And they are not even up to 6%. This I'm being very generous. It just sounds like if white man claims say black man racist towards them. When they get all the money, now they get all the power, how can a black man be racist against white man, where white man and then always don't perpetrate violence and pain from black man.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. It comes with power. Without
Creole
power,
minority.
you cannot be racist to the other. Black man are only name calling. Oh, you this, oh, you that. What power have we got for inflict something, you know, on the other? We don't.
Yeah.
And yeah,
so
absolutely
how
agree.
can
But Imran, another issue I want to touch on quickly before we close the program.
Land on this, please.
Okay.
You know,
yeah, go on.
How
please.
can the mayor single-handedly, one of the biggest majority tribes and powerful tribe, Sierra Leone, feel threatened by one great woman, a Creole woman? It is so ludicrous that it's funny. And watching the woman talk, it should say, and he make a worry say, sometimes they not sabi Creole. The woman clearly show frustration in watching him talk. He say, we go na a meeting, na parliament support with the mayor, then say that we for employ with people. My brother, why you there so now you they run your house? How you expect me for can employ servants for you? Where now you know what thing you want them for do for you. Now you get your mission, now you get your program. So the mayor then say no. And the mayor then will say no, most of them are SLPP mayor then. So the woman say, how will I go expect me for employ Kemokai? We not understand what I stand for. Because simply the woman they try for talk say, over 65% of people that when they employ now free talk, now of tribe. The minister there, so mean they, parastatal, so mean they. So the woman say, I have a mission and I have a duty of care to my people them. What you want they do not necessarily be say it correct. When I bring Kemokai back like I can employ, I left Williams, I left Kamara, I left Dumbuya. No. That is what the woman is trying to say, but they are not intellectual enough for able to see what's in the woman they try to put across. And that is a serious area we look at.
In terms of the present political climate, the toxicity of with politics, they do understand, but then try to politicize them because it plays to their weakness.
Well, that makes them even more evil than I thought, because that is premeditated.
Okay, Mr. Ture. Finally, the proposed cyber bill. Your view, please.
Hey, brother, now they want to make with telephone and crime. They want to make, even the talk with me, the talk so could be a crime. They want to make the law, and when you look at waiting and read, they can interpret anything because the law itself is so ambiguous. It's not finite. It's so ambiguous that in the words for you do anything, they interpret them how they want them. So what they basically do, because this government then gets this personality disorder, they get this obsession about popularity. Because they want MCC money, then pull the libel law. Then they say, well, we'll pull the libel law, then we'll bring a bill now on smartphones. Now, not just the media we can hold now, we can hold households, individuals, politicians, media personnel, anybody where they breathe oxygen and take out carbon dioxide
was
will become a criminal. Pardon?
No, and they say this could be worse than waiting they removed from the
because the other one we already deal with the media people then. Now we deal with households, individuals, politicians,
professional people, doctors, lawyers, accountants.
Nobody cannot speak. Even lawyer cannot talk. And it is so ambiguous that they can interpret them in any kind of way. So, what you make when can pretend, can't give the people them. Remember that language what they call what they play with Tushilin, Maloa? You can't give the people them Maloa. Give with the left hand, take back with the right hand.
And the football field and they learn the way and Canada science.
Oh, exactly. You know, so make them go with the Zangaliwa. You know, I don't feel to say Salon people for greed. I feel to say, and they talk this. Make this also become a crime. Because for them, they talk for say, if you come out to protest, they have labeled protest as criminal. And protest now a basic fundamental democratic rights.
Yeah.
We have the freedom to protest.
Anyway, Imran,
We get the freedom.
this has been an interesting and fascinating, conversation with you. Trust me, my brother, I really enjoyed the conversation, and you're gonna have to come back very, very soon, because despite the seriousness of what we will talk about, but it's so casual, and I enjoy all your analogy them and the parable them where you pull way central to the discussion that we are having, despite the seriousness. Fambulem, this is the Then and Now program, and me way they talk to una on the 4th of April, the 3rd year anniversary officially of the Julius Maada Bio government in power. Me and my name Prince Koma, and I the host Mr. Imran Toure, a social media critic on the platform tonight. It's not been a disappointing night at all, especially by my standard. I really did enjoy this. But just before I give the brother the platform for let it wrap up, these are the things, yeah. With the guy, brother Sankor, Cashbox will be hosting a program on this platform. So when I expect for you the voice of brother Sankor on this platform every Thursdays going forward from now on. This Thursday will be episode number 1 from the famous voice of Salon Cashbox. And then you get Supermed, we've been there on yesterday. Of course, Supermed Inside Salon today, where they broadcast on the British Media Empire platform on Facebook, is on every Saturday. And on Sundays, like today, Nami they host the program, and here I am. On Wednesdays is the Mervi Meziga show, where they talk about fashion, where they talk about food, where they talk about many things and diverse views, is the Mervi Meziga show. But tonight of all, where they talk to about Imran Toure, and when they talk about issues we matter to the state, the 23 broken promises, if not of the Julius Maada Bio government. Okay, and we name them the wages of sin is death. Waiting a sin when you commit a crime against Christianity or Christian, and waiting on the penalty, the ultimate penalty, not death, and waiting on the mean. But we will give the brother the chance for close the platform, but we will bring and come back very, very soon. Final thought, Mr. Toure. Where are we? Where we were?
Hey, brother, I will be the talk about. My brother, honestly, with situation at Sierra Leone, yesterday would always better past today. So when we will come tomorrow will be the worst past today, And now that's we the people allow them for do to we. Now we get for take a step back and say enough of this. Because like Ayeri, the commissioner of police, whenever he talk of crime, he use a label, and it's a very dangerous label. And I encourage the journalists for pick on that. Enemy of the state. When anything where something happen in Sierra Leone, enemy of the state. And according to the constitution, I am not legally trained. I'm not a legal luminary. But what I understand is when I say enemy of the state, that person will commit treason. And now, anybody will seem for go against or criticize the government, an enemy of the state, and it is far away from that. And that was what the Gestapo be the use during the Nazi time, where they be the waiting the communist nonsense for stop people and forget freedom of speech, and then they want bring can alone. So they want for keep you shut down. They say you're an enemy of the state. I already information minister used that word there as well. And at the big one, the journalists them let una take that thing very seriously. So when you look at all these things, these governments are final percent of governments we not want for be challenged. They don't want forget conversation. Just like we then bring education without consultation. Then bring Tapalapa without consultation with the big cabinet. Then bring everything when they don't bring them, they not consult, they not talk to stakeholders them. We get a lot of maturity, understanding within that sector, the sectors that they. But rather, then they can feed the people them. And you cannot feed a mature bird, it can fend for itself. And the population, they try to tell us, say, this is not how you do it. Consult with us. You're not allowed to consult and you're not allowed to speak. When you come on a door for protest, they say lawlessness. and we get rights for do civil disobedience. All them things and then I think will get rights for do. Then a passive action where you sit down, you don't be violent, and you make your point. We have that right. But we get policemen and soldier man in our country where trigger happy, where they're all partisan. They're not they protect the constitution. They're not they protect lives and property, but rather then we for protect we life and property. And then they kill we back, broke we shop them, broke we houses them, kill we picking them, and will not get rights for complaint. When you see these governments, the worst thing what they ever do now for kill people in Amakini, then they arrest the body, them can't lock them up in a free town. We are not going to keep quiet. Whether they do the bill, whether they do treble bills against we free speech, we go talk.
Okay. Okay, Brother Imran. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of a very, very brilliant show. And I shall say, at the watch, we're not really very many. Of course, we just do a transition from the normal pages that people they always done the follow it for the past 3 years, and we can understand this. So a new page will just begin a week ago, and only one broadcast with the whole day. And this now the second or the third broadcast. This is not the third broadcast, so we can understand. But gradually, people will definitely gravitate towards the new page. But the national conversation is they on, and that national conversation is not going anywhere. The government can wish this conversation will go away, but it's not going anywhere. People are waking up, people are wising up, people are becoming conscious, and it's the duty of those conscious brothers and sisters for conscientize the minds of the unconscious. That's what we need for do. And we're not doing it in a disrespectful way. We're not doing it in a disingenuous way. We just do them out of love for country, first and foremost, patriotism, nationalism, one not elect for use because it sounds a little bit extreme. But generally, it's just for the good of the entire country. That's what we're doing. That's why we slide away a little bit from the orthodox or conventional form of journalism that you will know or sabi, into much more of social media act, in which there's a little bit of a difference, but the overarching thing about all of this is there is a responsibility for the people, by the people, with the people. Mr. Imran Ture, thank you so much, my brother. I really, really enjoyed this program. One of the few programs I've enjoyed. Most programs, you're under stress and tension, for take them, ask the question, develop them. But it's been a frank conversation with you. And I really did enjoy it. And I'm sure say the audience, both those watching now and then one day we get for watch subsequently, will enjoy. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you too there, brother. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So Fambulem, effectively, this brings the end of the program for tonight. And will not forget, we get with Facebook page, subsequently this program, along with many other programs, will be posted. We get about over 400 videos on media. Before you make your judgment, make sure say you visit the page. Make sure say you look through the videos, not make a judgment just by the booking cover from one production. No, that will be wrong, not only for us, but for the general perception of the country. Thank you so much once again, and good night to everybody. Happy Easter, and everybody have a pleasant bank holiday Monday and all the other days the way for come. Enjoy yourself. Bye. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Daddy. I really enjoy it.